You can bet your bottom dollar. Great programming coming up next on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Stand by. Hold on. Dude Talk at its finest, coming up next on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. In about 2 minutes, stand by. We know what guys are talking about. Stand by. A great show coming up next on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. In about 30 seconds. Stand by. Don't go away. Stop. If they're talking about it at the barbershop, we're talking about it here on SME. Great show coming up in about 30 seconds. Don't go away. Stand by. It's time. Sit back, relax, and enjoy. Another great product on the Stewart Media and Entertainment Network. Yeah!
Warning. Listening to the Doug Stewart Show may cause sore throat from arguing about sports so much, increased knowledge of sports and sports issues, short tolerance for BS sports shows, you will start referring to yourself as a Stewie, consistent visits to the Doug Stewart Show chat room to talk ish, a sudden craving for boiled peanuts, fellas, better luck with the ladies, better luck with the fellas, a deeper appreciation for 80s and 90s hip-hop music, and an uncontrollable urge to donate money to the Doug Stewart Show. We thank you for listening. Enjoy.
Ain't nothing but against the party.
I'm going to give it to you raw, no Vaseline.
What?
It was at this moment that he knew.
Please fix
He
that, Walter.
f***ed up.
And that's figuratively, not literally, because I don't get
Let's
down
go,
like
baby.
that. You know what I mean? The realest.
It's
the
Friday.
greatest sports talk show in America.
It's Friday.
The
Let's
Doug
go.
Stewart Show.
Let's go! Let's go! Yeah! What's happening? Welcome to the Doug Stewart Show, the realest, trillest sports and guy talk show in America! Yes! Good afternoon! Good afternoon, Stewies. Special edition, late edition of the Doug Stewart Show. Oh, boy, we got a lot to get to today, man. Yeah. Hey, Puff, bring it back one more time! Woo! Woo! Yeah. Yes, sir. All right, man, we got a lot to get to, man. Let's go ahead and let's get going with the show, man. Hey, thank you for joining me on the Doug Stewart Show. No, we got a lot to get to. We got a lot to get to. We have a lot we have to get to today, man. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you're tuning in and you're an everyday listener of the Doug Stewart Show, this is why I always tell you to hit that follow button. So today we had a little bit of business that we had to tend to, so we moved it back a couple hours, no problem at all. But if you hit that follow button, which, matter of fact, I need to tell the new listeners about that. If you're new to the Doug Stewart Show, all right, a couple things I need you to do. I need you to go to Spreaker.com. That's speaker with an aura. All right. Once you get on there, search and find the Doug Stewart Show. Once you find it, there's a little follow button. Make sure you hit that follow button so that when this show goes live, whether we're late or whether another show is going live on the network, you get a little alert button. Okay, make sure you do that. And the second thing you need to do is to click on the chat bubble and jump into the chat room. We have the best chat room in the world. I call it the Fantasy Island of Sports and Guy Chat, and its inhabitants, I call them the Stewies. Good afternoon, Stewies. Yeah. All right, so make sure you do that. All right, that's very important. So a perfect example was today. We had to move the show back a couple hours, but it's no big deal. If you hit the follow button, you got a little alert through Twitter or Facebook or just an email. So make sure you do that. All right, so if you're new to the show, we have the chat room, which I read a lot of the chat messages all day long. We also have, the ability to take phone calls. You can call the show 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. So we have the most interactive show in the world, bar none. Join in and get down with this fun on a fantastic, freaky, funny Football Friday. All right? Yeah. Speaking of which, it is a fantastic, freaky, funny Football Friday. Obviously, man, we'll get into all of the football conversation coming up this weekend. We'll give you our Funky Four, which is the 4 biggest games in college football and the 4 biggest games in the NFL. We'll kind of preview those games. We'll talk a little bit about what happened last night in the NFL between the Buffalo Bills and the New York Jets. A little bit later in the show, if you're new, a little bit later in the show, we have a birthday segment where we talk birthdays and entertainment. We got a lot going on, man. But once again, jump in the chat room. I read the chat throughout the show. Usually we have a top 5 conversation, a Dougie Daily where we throw out a question. We have different themes to every day of the week. A lot going on around here. Monday is a Man Talk Monday. Tuesday is a Tribute Tuesday where we pay particular homage to a particular artist. Wednesday is a Woman Wednesday. Thursday is a Throwback Thursday where we take it back to a particular year in sports, entertainment, and beyond. And today, man, is the day that we all live for. We get ready for the weekend. We talk football on a fantastic, freaky, funny Football Friday. Yes, sir. Yeah. All right, so today is a Friday. We give out a Boiled Peanuts Award on Friday. Now, I know. We're going to get to the contest here in a second. Just bear with me. I got to take care of this business first, okay? On Friday, we have a poll that we give out. We vote on and we give out an award. It's not really an award per se, but we give it out to the Buster of the Week in sports, entertainment, and beyond, okay? And you can actually go vote on that poll on the Doug Stewart Show Facebook group, okay? So make sure you go and vote. But your nominees are Tony La Russa for some ignorant statements. Maybe we'll get into them in more in detail a little bit later. Former manager of the Oakland A's and the St. Louis Cardinals, Tony La Russa, some ignorant statements concerning the Colin Kaepernick protest. Lil Wayne, same thing, some ignorant statements towards Colin Kaepernick's protest. Dabo Sweeney and Trip Dilfer all with ignorant statements towards Colin Kaepernick's protest. And then also we threw in there for good measure Antonio Brown twerking. So go to the Doug Stewart Show Facebook group and cast your vote. We'll give out that winner/loser a little bit later today in the show. It's called the Boiled Peanuts Award. It's a long story on how we came up with the name. Just ask somebody in the chat room. They'll tell you. Now, we have some old business that we have to tend to. Yesterday, we had our inaugural The Doug Stewart Show contest, where we were going to give away $100, okay? And all you had to do was answer a simple trivia question and tweet it out, and you would win the $100. We call it Dougie Buys You Lunch or something like that. We need to give it a cute name or whatever. So, I have the results of yesterday's first contest for the Doug Stewart Show, man, the Buy You Lunch contest. Your winner yesterday, we asked the 50th person to tweet, okay? The answer is, and the answer was Cam Newton. The answer was Cam Newton to the question I asked. Who was the quarterback of the Carolina Panthers? So you were supposed to tweet, hashtag the answer is Cam Newton, and I listened to the DougStewartShow.com. I'm here to tell you that the person that had it right, the 50th person that had it almost right, was the Jungle Brother. That's right. The Jungle Brother was number 50. Now listen, you can go back and look at this. All right? All you got to do is go to hashtag the answer is, and, the answer is, you go to hashtag the answer is, and look down, if you're on Twitter, and click on all tweets. And they have all the different, tweets that came in under that hashtag. So all we did is went from number 1 yesterday to number 50, and number 50 was an old friend of the Doug Stewart Show, and I got to be honest with you, I didn't know that the Jungle Brother still listened to the show. I didn't know. All right, long story short, for new people listening to the Doug Stewart Show, Jungle Brother was a cat that used to listen to the show, supported us tremendously, but the Jungle Brother was just uncontrollable. He was just uncontrollable. So we had to suspend his account. We had to suspend his account because he was just out of control. I mean, just totally just disrespecting, spitting, cussing at people day in and day out. I had no clue that the Jungle Brother still listened to the show. So the Jungle Brother was the 50th person yesterday that tweeted in his answer to the question. But there's an issue. The Jungle Brother cannot follow directions. The Jungle Brother did not follow directions. I told you 2 things you had to do. Really just one thing. The first thing you had to do was obviously use the hashtag the answer is so that we could even see your entry. The second thing you had to do, because this is a promotion, you had to use the DougStewartShow.com as a link. That's the whole point of this, Jungle Brother. If you're listening right now, you had to do that. I gave you 2 things you had to do. I gave you, in effect, 1 job, and you messed it up. You did not use the link, thedougstewartshow.com. So, sadly to say, Jungle Brother, no money for you. Yeah. So just like they do on big time terrestrial radio when they have a call in and you say caller number 50, and caller number 50 calls up but they don't have the right answer. In this platform, we're using this tweet, we're using social media. Jungle Brother, good job, but you got to follow through, follow directions. And it makes sense because you never followed directions before anyway. Yes. Now listen to me. I don't want to hear anybody say, oh, Doug, you hating on Jungle Brother. Go back and look at it for yourself. Listen to the show yesterday. I repeatedly said, this is a promotion, okay? Jungle Brother writing the Doug Stewart Show, not as a link, not with a .com, doesn't help promote this show at all, okay? It's as simple as that. All you had was 1 job. Everything else outside of the link, the DougStewartShow.com, we may have given you a little bit of leeway, but you had 1 job, bruh. So, goes back in the hopper. We'll do it again next week. Oh, boy. The irony of the whole thing. Wow. The irony of the whole thing. We had to suspend Jungle's ass, and he won, but he didn't really win. Oh, boy. Oh, well. When we get back from the break. But thank you, Jungle, for continuing to listen to the show, even though we had to cancel your chat.